India and the US are looking at co-production in the defense sector and a focus on technology transfer. Enhancing military capability. For example, India is looking at acquiring the Predator drone, the MQ-9B as it is known, in a deal valued $3 billion. Will there be progress in this? Widely expected. Transfer of new military technology to India. Perhaps the most significant is the manufacture of GE jet engines in India, which will power India's Tejas fighter jets. India and the US are looking closely at technology to mitigate the impact of climate change. India is also a part of the Artemis Accords that the Prime Minister signed when he was in the United States. This is for the peaceful development of space. India is also expected to send an astronaut to the International Space Station. The biggest international concerns, the war in Ukraine and the Israel-Hamas conflict, will likely figure in some of the talks as well.
The fifth India-US 2+2 Ministerial meeting in Delhi. In the backdrop of two conflicts, Russia-Ukraine and Israel-Hamas, discussions also covered defense and other sectors.
It's always wonderful to be in India. We're building on a rather remarkable year of engagement, and I think it's just evidence of the fact that we have not only the strongest bilateral partnership we've ever had, but also a regional one and indeed a global one. And that was further evidenced by India's leadership of the G20 this year.
The US Secretary of State has toured the Middle East and West Asia in an effort to prevent any escalation of Israel-Hamas conflict. India too has stakes in the region, like trade, security and people-to-people ties. So the effort for peace is a common goal.
From India's perspective, we have always stood for a two-state solution. When the current hostility started, India put out a tweet condemning the horrific terrorist attacks on Israel on October 7. And we have always advocated zero tolerance for terrorism.
Challenges in the Indo-Pacific region were also discussed, as was Taiwan.
Our partnership is critical for ensuring a free, open and a rules-bound Indo-Pacific region. We look forward to closely working with the US across the domains of defense for capability building and for an abiding partnership which can address emerging challenges.
Both sides agree the state visit of Prime Minister Modi to the US has given a fresh thrust to the India-US ties.
Highlight this year was the Prime Minister's historic state visit to the United States in June, which has truly opened a new chapter in our relationship. President Biden's visit to Delhi in September contributed immensely as well to the positive trajectory of our ties. His support was key to ensuring productive outcomes at the G20 summit.
While the Canada probe into Niger's killing did come up in talks, there was no mention of the Indian Navy veterans on death row in Qatar.
We have core security concerns, and I'm sure you're all aware of the recent video that has surfaced from one such individual, which poses, I think this is Pathan Singh Pannu's video, which presents a very serious security concern for the Indian interest. And we have made our position very, very clear to our friends and partners, and I think they understand and appreciate that sense of where India comes from.
Defense talks are on track, but no announcements were made yet. In Delhi, Kadamini Sharma for NDTV.